Hello, everybody. Welcome to your weekly celebrity reading. This week it is Tom Holland. And as I do with all my celebrity readings, they're based on subscriber requests. So if you are a subscriber, definitely throw in some comments for celebrities you want me to read, and I will add them to my list. Now, Tom Holland has been requested several times. What I do with my readings, the first thing I do an overview of their birth chart, just like a brief overview. But because I couldn't find Tom Holland's actual time of birth, I did a little digging. And this is really interesting. Everybody, you want to know a secret about Tom Holland? He was born on a full moon, okay? He's a Gemini. So, two really interesting things about that. Being born on a full moon is really, really rare. All right, it's like when you meet that one person and you're throughout your life that was born on Christmas or whatever. Pretty rare. Okay, now being on a full moon, also he could be he has an emotional side. Let's just put it that way. All right, moons represent our emotions, and as we know, full moons we can go all the way back. Moon, okay, derived from Luna. Okay, that's why it's called lunar phases, or it has the word lunar in it. But then if you go to the etymology of it, I think it dates back to the 13th century. Lunacy comes from Luna. All right, so we go a little crazy over the full moons, right? When we have a full moon in Gemini coming up, what day is today? The 4th? In 3 days, okay? So he could be going through a very emotional moment. But the other thing about being born on a full moon, he is definitely compelling. He can walk into a room and just be very commanding, okay? That's, especially if you're an extrovert like a Gemini, but it's the same thing. It's like when you're outside in your backyard, or you're out in the field and you're gazing up at the full moon. It's so powerful, it's so beautiful, it's so commanding, right? And so that's the thing about Tom Holland. All right, and so I'm not gonna because I couldn't find his time of birth, I'm not gonna break down his birth chart, because I don't know where the houses are, where the planets are in the houses, and that's really important. So we'll leave it at that. All right, being born on the full moon is really special. Now, the other thing, I think one of the questions was about his relationship with Zendaya. We'll see what comes up, but I don't Google anyone. I don't follow anyone, any of these celebrities. If you've seen my celebrity readings, I am not into pop culture, and I like to do cold readings, okay? It's always good to do cold readings so you're not emotionally tied to the person you're reading. You're not biased in any way. You don't subconsciously interpret the cards away in favor of them if you're a fan of them or whatever. But listen, that's how I do my readings. But it's always interesting to see people leave comments when something really resonates. Okay, now the thing with Zendaya, she is a Virgo, and I did a reading for her way back when I first started this channel, and her being a Virgo and Tom Holland being a Gemini, great match. Okay, great match. So let's go ahead and get started, see what's going on for Tom Holland, the energies for what's going on with him now, what we can expect from him in the future. And yeah, let's just go ahead. Let me just stop talking and I'll get started. All right, here we go. Now, I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, and it gives a full picture. It's probably the most complex spread, but it's also gives a really good overview. And I will pull clarifiers if I need to. But oh gosh, there may be something coming. There may be something. We'll see. There could be like a marriage. There could be. Let me just get started. Let's go ahead and get started. He pulled the Six of Cups. Okay, pulled the Six of Cups in his past. Six is harmony. Six is the tree of life. This is a card of a lot of comfort, a lot of security. Take a look at the card. That's the biggest house in tarot. All right. Now you see the children here. This is really good. It's almost like, being in a place where you're not being so serious, being in a place where you're tapping into your inner child, right? This is a beautiful card. A lot of just, being with friends and sharing and having that really good energy flow to attract the things you want, essentially. But also just, he could have had some moments that brought him some joy by going deep, by thinking about what's been going on, in his past. This is a card of nostalgia as well. So good for him. Good for Tom being a Gemini. Now, with that happening, it's brought him to this place where in the heart of his spread we see he has a Nine of Pentacles. Tom is, look at his reading, he is in a really good place. There is this is, you can see the symbol of Venus all over her gown. Venus is a planet of love and money and beauty and everything that we desire, right? And this is financial independence. This is success. This is, working really hard to get where you're at and earning all this abundance in your life. You see all that harvest, right, around her. But also, it's also spiritual alignment. You see the falcon on her hand, okay? That's Horus right there. Now, this means that he is in a really good place, okay? He's in a really good place, a lot of abundance in his life. Things are going really well. One thing is the King of Cups came up in his challenge area, okay? Now, here's what's really interesting is that the King of Cups is someone who does lead with his heart. He is very intuitive. He's very psychic, okay? You can see that his throne is literally on top of water. That's how emotionally stable he is. But came in his challenge area. So, as I said, remember from the very beginning with him being born on a full moon, this full moon in Gemini coming up, all right? He is a Gemini. This is going to hit him hard. There could be something that really rocks his throne that's on this water. But at the same time, he needs to, it would be good for him to just really just tap into his intuitive side. The moon is, really, it's our intuition as well, okay? And so it could be something that there's, again, getting the energy of like mood swingy-ish, kind of emotional. There's something there emotionally that it's almost like he won't let out, okay? And so that's just, if there's anything that he would have to work on, it would be that. But I mean, the King of Cups is great, right? The King of Cups is, has so much love, all right? So much love for not only everybody in his kingdom, but for himself as well, right? Very powerful, again, mastering his emotions. Now you see Judgment in his crown, okay? You see the Archangel blowing the trumpet here. The dead are rising. The dead are gray and tarot. Wisdom. What does this mean? This is in his crown. This currently at this moment is looking for this moment, right? It's spiritual awakening. He wants to hear the blow of the trumpet, all right? Seems like I'm getting the energy he did, okay? He's had this moment of clarity. He's had this aha moment, if that's what you want to call it, okay? When you hear the blow of the trumpet, listen, let's go way back, okay? Trumpet, listen, this is the only card in tarot that has a strong connotation to sound. Now, what is sound? Sound is vibrations. When you hear the sound of the trumpet, listen, this is we all vibrate at a certain frequency, right? And it's not even my opinion. It's not conjecture. You can, Albert Einstein himself, Nikola Tesla, we're all made of energy. We all vibrate at a frequency, okay? This is vibrating at a higher frequency because sound is frequency. But then let's go way back, all right? Sound has been healing as well. Think about throughout humankind, Native American drum beats, Gregorian chanting, gospel choir even. Sound is healing. So this moment of clarity is really good for him. Now, you see the Four of Wands in the root of his spread. This is a card, let's call it a milestone, but the fact that he has the Knight of Cups in his future and then the Four of Wands in the root of his spread, this is a card of marriage. This is a card of, like when I say milestone, this can be, that's on his mind. There's a lot of joy in this card. This is celebration. You see these two people, they're happy as AF, right? And so this is movie. I mean, it could be engagement. It could be, something that is on his mind. Engagement, it could be marriage, it could be moving, okay? Moving into a new home, all right? But remember, there's two people in this card, okay? And so this is, 4 is all about order. It's that structure. It's moving into this place of stability. Now, he did get the Knight of Cups, and we know that this is the Knight in shining armor. This is Mr. Romantic. This is the Prince Charming of Tarot. Now, look, it's in his future. He is moving toward that, all right? Let's just clarify that, see what's going on here. Oh, yeah, but interestingly, he got the Three of Swords in his future. So, what does this mean? Knight of Cups, remember, again, Mr. Romantic, this is someone, it's basically saying that he's moving into this place where he's going after the things that he wants that's going to fill his cup. Cups are, they represent our emotions, all right? And so, even though this is something that, he probably wants at this moment, because the Knight, he's active, he's in pursuant of his passions, okay? This is what's going to fulfill him emotionally. Now, he got the Three of Swords, which means that it may not, it may not happen. If that's, listen, this is the heartbreak card. This is the, but it's like, the energy that I'm getting from this is not something, it's not intense, okay? I love that he has all these cups, and this is the very first sword card that he pulled, okay? But this is in his future. Now, listen, these swords, if you think about it, swords are the mental suit. So even though this is the heartbreak card, what's here starts going up here. Now, again, in his pursuant for this thing that's going to, fulfill him emotionally, looks like it may not work out, okay? And so, yeah, and then we get the Hierophant, all right? So, it's like he's moving toward this thing, and it could be a relationship. Looking at this, it's very personal to him, okay? But there are people involved, and with this in the root of his spread, this is some sort of milestone that he's looking for. He's going to pursue it. It may not happen the way that he wants it to with the Three of Swords there, but now clarified with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is this spiritual leader. This is a very religious figure, okay? It's the male equivalent of the High Priestess, Pope energy, right? Now, he has the deep, sacred wisdom we're all looking for. This is the first major arcana where other people appear in the card. When you have that deep, sacred knowledge, you pass it along to other people. And so there's it's really interesting, because this is also like, when you think of a spirit, it could be like a pastor, like that does the wedding, or or is the person for that. But the real message that's coming through is that it's almost like now's not the time, okay? Because you need a little bit more wisdom, okay? You need a little bit more knowledge about, is this what I want right now for me? All right? So the timing just could be off. But hey, he's still in a good place, and that's really cool. And again, the energy that I'm picking up from the Three of Swords isn't intense. It's not intense as, sometimes it comes like really strong. And of course, he is going to feel it with this full moon in Gemini coming up pretty soon, okay? And so let's get to his staff. Now, if you are, oh gosh, what is going on here? There is a lot of I think he is eventually going to get married. Or engaged. This is crazy. All right, so let's go ahead. Death. All right. Now, this is not literal death, and this is coming up in his staff. This is saying that he wants this. He wants this. This is a transformational experience. Okay. This is, look, You can see the dead king, the common people. Death happens to everyone. You have to think about death as a point in time. That's all it is. The end of one cycle, entering another. This is what he really, really wants, okay? And so we can see that possibly after this full moon in Gemini for the next few weeks, we will see this new life chapter that he's looking for it. And the reason why I say that this may happen, well, first of all, again, this is a very auspicious card. It's not a negative card. It's very auspicious. You do see the sun coming out of the background. You see the rose and the flag. You see the white horse. These, they represent purity. You see the skeleton on the horse. The skeleton's fully protected. That skeleton, why is it a skeleton? Think about it. Out of our body, what endures the longest, right? The skeleton. So this is really like coming into a new chapter in his life that has a long shelf life, and it's actually something that he wants right now. He wants this newness, all right? He wants this new thing, and the reason why I think that it definitely like it's going to be fast track because he did get the Page of Swords, okay? In this external factors area, this is the first page that he got. Now, in the minor arcanas, listen, I know that the people, or some people think the page is like not a big deal. Come on, the page, they're in the royal court, okay? And secondly, they, after the ace, usher in the most new change, the most new opportunity, new beginnings, swords, the mental suit, just eager, ambitious, ready to go. There's someone that's going to come through for him and kind of be like his cheerleader in a sense. Yeah. And he got the Ten of Pentacles. Now, this is prosperity. It's raining money. It's raining wealth. It's in the form of the Tree of Life here. All right, you see all those pentacles, okay? Now, this is really, really interesting, all right? A lot of family energy here. You see the old man. We say that's the hermit who's finally made it. You see the young couple. You see the child hidden in the corner there. So we're looking at 3 generations that play here. But at the end of the day, this is prosperity. This is success. This is the you made it card. This is so glorious, okay? Rapturous, in fact, all right? Legacy, a lot of legacy. This came in as external factors area. Now, 10, I want you to listen. 10 is the end of the suit, okay? Now, we already got the death card indicating he wants to start this new life chapter, right? Now, end of the suit, 10, okay? What comes after 10? 1, 0 equals 1, new beginning. This is very interesting. There is something that's going to he could even get a message coming through too about there's something coming through big time. He could get some sort of message about this opportunity or about the opportunity he's looking for. Now, he did get the Magician in his staff. Now, where the Magician falls, I want you to think about this real quickly. Look at the Magician. The first card in the major arcana is hand to the sky, hand to the ground, as above, so below. All 4 tools of tarot at his disposal, okay? You see the cups, the pentacles, the swords, and the wands. This is the power to manifest whatever you want, okay? But this is a card of action. Now, the main thing I want you to do, take a close look at the hand to the ground. That's more important than the hand up there, because he knows what his dreams are. He knows what he wants to manifest. Now, it's all about bringing that into your reality, all right? And so Tom is definitely, the fact that he got the Death card, the fact that he got the 10 of Pentacles, and the fact that he now has got the Magician, it's almost like his biggest wish is to start this new journey, and that's really great. One other thing that, is really cool about this is that, I said that you see all 4 tools of the tarot there, right? They represent the 4 elements, all right? Air, fire, water, what am I missing? Air, fire, water, earth. So those are the 4 elements. Now, Plato, he said there was a 5th element, and that was the ether. That was like space, all right? So that's really the dodecahedron. Geometry is very significant, all right? And now, when you bring that 5th element, that's the Magician. Isn't that crazy? The dodecahedron it's the 12 sides. It has the 12 platonic sides. each, think about 12, very important, all right? Very important number, 12, 12 months in a year. There's 12 constellations. Listen, this is really huge. You also see the sign of infinity over his head. Now, justice, final outcome, all right? Listen, he got the Four of Wands, he got the Knight of Cups, he got the Hierophant, and now he got the Justice card. This is, think about, this is a lot of marriage energy here. This is engagement energy here. Look at that, the Ten of Pentacles too. This is, and the Death card and the Magician. This is really insane. I mean, this is crazy. Okay, so he could get engaged soon. He really could. It's just, maybe now is not the right time, but eventually it's gonna happen. Look, it's come on. Justice is everything that you would think justice is, right? It's a lot of karmic energy attached to it. It's justice will be served. Everything. It's basically earning your karma points at this point. But using that sword, that's a lot of power, a lot of balance in this card. Okay, you see that sword to the sky, the scale. All right, that balance. But think about the justice, the judge. Again, just the person who does this is honestly like a lot of, he wants to get married. It is basically he wants to get married now. Let's take a look. Yeah, boom. Okay, so if we were to use, he pulled, as a clarifier, he pulled the Ten of Swords. All right, so if we were to use this as a clarifier in terms of timing, this is 10 weeks. Okay, 10 weeks from now. And so, what is that? Within 10 weeks. What days say? December 4th, 482. So, by February-ish. Okay? So, expect some sort of news. Okay? If we're using this as a timing clarifier. But also, remember I said 10 is the end. All right? 10 is the end of the suit. There could have been some things that were just, a lot of just, in his headspace, he had a lot going on to the point of just like, boom, not just burdening and stressful and distressing and, even burnout, right? That burnout energy, but he's over it. This is the end of the cycle. Those dark clouds, even though they're there, they're actually moving for this sun to come out. We've already seen the sun coming out here in the Death card. So, do you see the pattern here? This is really interesting. And then the last thing that I'm going to show you, look at his hand, all right? The same hand gesture as the Hierophant. And so it's almost like rebirth energy. It's almost like, you've learned everything. You've gone through all the stress, but it was a learning experience. You grew from it. You became a better person and a better version of yourself, and you're entering this new cycle with all this knowledge. Now, I honestly, this is all a lot of marriage energy here. He's pulled all the cards for marriage and engagement and just bringing that together. It may not be the right time, okay? It may not be the right time, but again, within 12 weeks, we may hear something, all right? We may hear something, and let's just pull one more clarifier to see. Oh, yeah, you got the Devil, okay? And so the energy that's coming with this is that, as we move into Capricorn season, this card is ruled by Capricorn. There is something that he's going to have to let go, and I think that's part of the Hierophant that came up after the Three of Swords. There's something that he's got he needs to. It's almost like the Devil's like a trap. Think of the Devil as a trap, sucking all that energy out of you, right? These people chained to the Devil, okay? And so it really is something that's not serving you well, something that's really holding you back, and you have to have that moment. And he came in the final outcome area, all right? So there is something that he's going to have to Let go. And I think it's more mental. All right, really do think it's more mental, like what's going on in his head. It could be like a certain way of thinking or a thought process, but there is something that is that could stand in the way that he might have to face. And it could, the devil represents our vices, our addictions, our bad behaviors, our bad patterns, our shadow side, things like that. But I think once he has that deep sacred, that wisdom, that knowledge, he's fine and he's good to move forward. Okay, yeah, and then he will. Eight of Cups. He will move forward from that. It's also, I'm getting a lot of external, even though this is interior. The devil. Remember, this is also our physical realities too. Or so. He's gonna be moving away from something, and it's gonna be a game changing. Let's move forward from this, okay? He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I mean, it says they're right there in the cards. And last clarifier, he's getting married. He's getting married. Yeah. So this is the card of love, two becoming one. If you want to, in layman's terms, the card of soulmate, twin flame. This isn't his final outcome. I mean, this is love transcending time and space itself. Like this is like when I say he's gotten all the marriage and engaged like that, he's gotten all of them basically at this point. I mean, like not all of them, but the good majority of it. So a lot of marriage on his mind, a lot of marriage, new beginning, new path, new adventure, new journey, new chapter in his life. But there's going to be something that he has to let go. And I think that a lot of it is that wisdom. He needs a little bit more time. He needs a little bit more, he's got to know, just spend a little bit more time, like make sure this is the right thing that I'm doing. And then look, he's good. He's getting married. FYI. Okay, so that's the reading for Tom Holland. And if you have again any requests, if you're a subscriber, leave them in the comments. And if you and I do weekly readings for all signs as well as monthly readings. And you haven't already, I did your 2023 overview for all zodiac signs. So be sure to check those out as well. And I will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye.